Okay, so basically, what is this function? Before like if I tell you about function, maybe you will ask me this question here, why you are directly asking like what is function? Because even you don't know about like what is a real use case of arrays and strings, okay, where we actually use in the real life. So we are directly jumping into the functions also. Okay, so now let's see what is actually why are we are learning these things. So 1 second. So basically, we have learned about arrays. Okay, we have learned about arrays and we have learned about strings. Okay, now if I say, you will ask me this question, but why? Okay, why these things actually came into my life? Okay, so the things is like why it is important. Like if I give you an example, like in Amazon, if you go to Amazon, okay, you will find lot of products there. You will find lot of products there. And what are those products? The product will be like earphone, headphones, or you can say mobile phones. Okay, and what all other products you will find it here, like a lot of gadgets. Okay, like any like home utility things, anything no, you will find in Amazon. Okay, you can say laptops. Okay, so now when we are asking about that, Amazon is storing these many products, but the question is like where it is actually storing it. Basically, whenever we talk about like, because we need something now where we can put all these things. So I can say that like if I ask you a question, basically where they will store these products. The actual answer, that database is a different thing. Database is a different thing. But now when I'm talking about here in this case, like the arrays which we have learned, okay, it is actually stored in an arrays. Okay, when you are doing the processing. So in your arrays, you can see that like a lot of products names, okay, whatever you're displaying on your screen, it is actually all the products, you can say that all are present in this array. And now product name, each product name is actually a string. Each product name is a string. So if I say headphone is a string or a number. Or even if I say boat speakers, okay, is it a string or a number? Is it is a string. If I talk about another product, like if I talk about earphone, you already know this is also a string. Okay, so you can say that like the product names are actually stored in these arrays. Okay, the product names are actually stored in these arrays. Boat, earphone, laptops, okay, whatever, like whatever you will take, you will say PS5, everything, every name is actually present in this array. Now, since for storing the thing, we are actually using this array. But for each product name, you can see that like the product name is this one, and each product name is actually a string. So you can see that like that why we need actually string and why we need an array. ओके, एरे ने घर दिया, स्ट्रिंग ने बेसिकली स्ट्रिंग को हमने संभाला. We actually array gave the house, okay, and we use string to store into them. Okay, because when you are basically whenever your website accessing, whenever your website is displaying something, okay, it is some at that time it is something, these all products are present something in the memory now. Now the point here is, now if I give you an analogy, okay, if I give you an analogy, ki suppose there is an array. Okay, suppose there is an array. Suppose there is an array of prices. Okay, if I give you an array of prices. Okay, and this is an array of products. This is an array of products. Okay, now if I'm talking about this is your array, if I'm talking about this is your array, and in this array there are a lot of items are present. In this array there are a lot of items are present, and if I say what are the products, like you can say moong dal. Okay, if I'm talking about the dal thing, rajma. Okay, now tell me more dal name. Okay, tur dal. Okay, chana dal. Okay, urad. Okay. And now if I'm talking about arhar, okay, right, arhar. Now you can say that like if I'm talking about all these dals, okay, this is an array of products like this. Here I'm talking about dal. Okay. Now here I'm talking about these dals. This is actually my dals. Now this is actually prices of each dal. Okay. I'm assuming what is the prices? Like I'm just assuming 50, 60, 90, okay, 100, 70, 120. It's just that I'm putting the prices of these dal. Okay, it's just a packets, the the prices of their packets. Now, if I ask you, like, suppose you visit a website which is known as Grofers, and suppose you visit a website, or you can say that big basket. Okay, in the Grofers or in big basket, you can do these type of shopping. Suppose if I'm taking the example of big basket, bigbasket.com. Okay, if you go to big basket, you can buy all these stuffs there. Okay, now suppose you are searching for something. Now suppose you went there to buy some dal. Okay, you want to buy some dal. Now you want to, what actually happened, like you can see that like it is something like this, like moong dal, it is coming as 50 rupees. Okay, so whenever you open the website, okay, and when you go to the dal section, in that case in your screen you will see like this moong 50. Okay, and a dal photo will be here. And now you will see that tomato, I'm talking about rajma. Okay, in your website you will see like that rajma, and having a price, like it will be actually it view like in this way, like first a picture of moong dal, and then you will find a price here. What is the price? Price is 50 rupees. Okay, and then you will find some description. Now the another here, the next will be the another one. So the first is actually your moong, and the next is actually your rajma. Okay, and here you will find your price. And what is your price? 60 rupees. So you can see that like in this way, it is actually taking the values from the array and it is showing in your screen. Okay, it is actually uh, showing on your screen. What is the price? 90 rupees. Okay, and now if you go to the next, so urad. So now you can see that 70 rupees. So can you see that in your screen? This is my computer screen or this is my laptop screen, and my screen, it is actually showing all the products. But that's why you can see that like we have stored the array of dal in this one, and we have stored the array of prices in this one. You just need to run a loop, and at you know that like the length of this array and this array, the length of the both of the array is same. So you can run a same length loop. Okay, so similarly in your screen you will find all your products. So it is actually in the screen, it is like looking very cool. Okay, so that is the job of front-end developer when you will learn HTML, CSS. But can you see the background thing in the back end, what we are doing in the back end? Or you can say that in the processing part, when you like, what is the importance of programming? Why you are learning this array and why you are learning these strings and everything? No, it is not possible ना कि length will not equal. क्यों भाई, ये कैसे हो सकता है कि दाल हो पर price ना हो? It is not possible ना. When you are saying that length is not equal, so just think logically. Price is there, but uski दाल ही नहीं है. How it is possible? But which price is this? Because this is the array of prices, and this is the array of dal. अगर दाल होगी तो price भी होगा. Price होगी. It's something like ना, if your name exists, that means the person is also exist. Okay. So basically that means in that case what you can do na, like you can just put hidden or something. Yeah, right. But getting this point, like why we need actually. Now after this what we can do now, yesterday I explained you something. Yesterday I explained you like how to find the maximum. Everyone remember how to find the maximum? How to find the maximum in an basically in an array, where I given the example of that train. Okay, now same concept I will tell you, the same concept I will apply here when I will ask you, when I will you know that in the website you will find a feature that you are asking for, give me the price of that maximum dal. Maximum dal, what is the price of the maximum dal? Okay, so you will apply the same logic, and from that logic you will find out that your maximum dal is 100, And now from that you will directly go to the chana, and your output will be chana, because you will apply the yesterday logic. And yesterday logic, oh, sorry, it is not 100, sorry, it is actually 120. It is 120. Okay, and now when your 120 is this, so from that you can select that, okay, what is the maximum dal, and in your screen will show you that error thing. Getting this? Like why we are learning this maximum, minimum, and all those things. So basically the main reason of finding maximum and main reason of learning minimum is all this, like you will apply all this logic in a real life, that when you go to the website, you have a filter na there, that you want to find the maximum dal, you want to go max to high, max to minimum, you want to go low to high, you want to go high to low. Okay, so the point here is, if I go to even Mintra, okay, and if I buy something, now you can see that here we have a sort by. Okay, and now in sort by you can see that high to low. So in that case, what will happen? The highest price will go up. Okay, the highest price will come up. So it is actually applying the same logic, and that logic you will learn in the next unit. Like you will learn sorting. Okay, when you will learn sorting, but in the sorting concept also, the finding of minimum and maximum is actually there, because this is the first maximum, this is the second maximum, this is the third maximum, this is the fourth maximum. Like these are the things happening. Right now we are not going in that depth. Okay, but now just I want to show you like what is the beauty and why we are learning everything. Okay, now you can ask me this question. Now the another question which you will ask me is ki from where I am actually getting all this data, from where I am actually getting this rajma, tur and urad. Basically this data is actually I got from the real world. Okay, all this data I got from the real world, from दुकान वाले से मुझे सारा डेटा मिलेगा. I will get this data from the real world, basically from the shopkeeper. Okay, so basically who is selling that, who is selling all those things, and basically yeah, from from there I've actually got this thing. And now from that data I will use that data, I will use this data, okay, to put on my website. And now on that website you can apply anything. Now you can that website will apply, give you some function, like you want to search something, so okay, it will give you a search bar. Now search something. If you want to like other than search, if you want to find minimum, low, like just find minimum. Like in DSA you have solved the problem of equal to 32 or not. Anyone remember? Equal to 32 or not, or equal to 42, okay, whatever it is. Okay, similarly you can also search something na, you can also search something. What I can search here, I can search here t-shirt. So when I'm searching here, so what I'm doing here, I'm actually doing the searching. So at that time you are searching the number, but here I'm searching the some string. So basically that is the point of everything. Now let's move to, like, everyone got some feeling why you're learning all this programming. Okay, now let's move to the next thing, which is function. What is function actually? Today's topic is our function. So basically function is something whenever you want to control your code. Okay, whenever you want to control your code. Now understand this thing carefully. What is this controlling your code? Now suppose tomorrow you are writing your you are writing your like own e-commerce application like Amazon, Flipkart. Okay, so you are like writing your own application. So just suggest me some funny name of like for your e-commerce application. E-commerce basically means like for selling things, like Amazon or Flipkart. Okay. So basically, okay, lot of creativity is coming. Zango, खरीद ले, चलो खरीदने. Okay, I like one name, that is आपकी दुकान. आपकी दुकान.com. Okay, suppose you are writing this thing, आपकी दुकान.com. Okay, now if you want to write this, if you are working for this e-commerce application, now in that case what you can do, okay, if you are writing this, so in that case you will start writing your code. Okay, so how will you write your code? So this is your applet. Okay, you can say that this is your platform where you are writing your code. It could be VS Code, it could be it could be VS Code, it could be basically a replet, and anywhere, like wherever you want. Okay, so you started writing your code. Now till now what you have learned, that you will write your code in this manner, like you start writing your code. Okay, and eventually when you start writing your code, the code lines become 100 lines of code. It will become 100 lines you have written. Okay, or you can say 1000 lines. 100 lines is very small, but if I say you have written 1000 lines of code. Okay, and in this 1000 lines of code, some part of your code is actually belongs to the cart. Okay, suppose whenever you want to add something to the cart, you have this option in Amazon na? Whenever you want to add something into cart, in Mintra also, whenever you want to add something. Similarly, you have written the code here, you have written the code of your orders, what all what all orders are there. The third code which you have written here is like payment section. Okay, when customer go for the payment thing. So can you see that, like everything you have written in a single, basically this is a single replit file, and every code you have written in this way. Okay, so here I'm showing you that you have written everything in a single page. Okay, now when you press run button, then what will happen? This code will execute line by line. Okay, but now can you see that, like there is a lot of problem in this code? And what is the problem? The problem, there are two things. What is problem in this one? The first thing is, how will you manage your code? Manage code. Okay, the problem is, like managing code is like every code you have put in a single file. Now it will be very difficult to find the thing, like where card is written, where order is written, where payment is written. Okay, now suppose later in the future, you find out that this code is actually giving you error. Okay, this code is giving you error. Now if this code is giving you error, then you need to revise all the things. Now you need to check all the things whatever you have written, and you need to find the error, and it will be very difficult. Right now I'm just saying or talking about 1000 line. In 1000 line, it is like finding a finding that mosquito in this one. Okay, which is actually uh, like destroying this code. Yes, घास में से सुई ढूंढना. Okay, so problem here is, like suppose when this code is not running, then in that case, what will happen? The problem is, it will be very difficult to find the error. Like everyone is with me? Is it right or not? 1000 line mein, like you are just finding one error because you have written everything in this one. Yes, like order card, orders, payment, everything you have written in a single file. Now in the later future, now suppose later in the future, you have to add one another system, that is UPI system. Okay, suppose you want to add this UPI system in this one also. Now in this case, to add something in this one, in this code, okay, it is very difficult to add something in this code, because already it is like you have created a structure of very complex thing in one single file. Okay, and now suppose if you going to add something here, maybe this code will destroy totally. Okay, because the code which you have written, it is not like in a proper way na, because everything you have written in a single file, and if you want to later add something, then it will be very difficult for you. So that's why there are two problems here. Okay, yeah, right, you can say that code fat jayega. Okay, code will broke. That is a very common line which used to say that code fatna. Okay, it will like it will blast like anything. So basically Now just tell me one thing. Now tell me one thing. If Amazon has did the same thing, suppose if Amazon had did the same thing, okay, and now there is a cart system, okay, and now there is a order system. They have written suppose in a single file, okay, and there is a payment system. Now even if one bug is coming, even if like suppose there is a problem in this cart, okay, it is showing error, it will make whole application down. It will make whole application down. Okay, puri application will go down. Why? The problem here is because everything is actually connected. It is something like when I'm talking about a train, okay, there is a train which is connected to this one, connected to this one, okay, and this is actually an engine of this train. Okay, this is actually an engine of of this train. Now just understand one thing. Suppose this one is actually got problem, it creates a problem. In that case, if your whole train will get stopped, na, your whole train will get stopped. It is not just about basically like everything else is working fine. This is working fine, this is working fine, but if this is not working fine, then in that case what will happen? The whole application will go down. So getting the problem, like if you write everything in a single page. Now if I give you another scenario, if I give you another scenario, okay, and you are writing an application which is known as dukanwala.com. Okay, now you are going very smartly, and you thought of what I will do. I will create three teams. Team 1, I will create team 2, I will create team 3. Okay, team 1 will work on the card thing, team 2 will work on the orders thing, team 3 will work on the payment thing. Okay, these three teams are working on so they have written their own code. Okay, after they have done with their code, at the end what will happen? Their code will get merged. Okay, their code will get merged. So basically these three teams, team 1, team 2, team 3 is actually working, okay, on something like card, orders, and payment. Now later in the future, suppose what happen? Later in the future, suppose what happen? Ki, suppose you want to add suppose there is a bug come. Okay, suppose there is a bug like in your application. Suppose there is a error come. Okay, now if your error come, now in that case you will got to know that the error is coming from the cart side. The error is coming from the cart side. Now in that case, what you will do? You will go to the cart team. You will say that to the cart team that please fix your error. Okay, this order team is fine na. Order and payment team they don't need to, we don't need to disturb them. They are working their work for properly. It's just that that problem is actually coming to the cart, and if that problem is coming to the cart, we will directly go to that team and that team will fix it. That is good. It is not affecting my whole code. Okay, now the next thing is, now just try to understand one thing. Bug basically means error. Bug means error. Okay, any error actually came. Okay, now if I talk about, like suppose you want to install a UPI system. Suppose you want to install a UPI system. You want to add a UPI. Okay, in that case, what will happen? If you want to a UPI, you will directly go to the payment team, because payment team is a responsibility of adding that UPI. Na? We don't need to go to the orders and we don't need to go to the cart. So in that case, my work is very much good. Like it is very flexible for me. Getting this? Why breaking in the team is actually very good thing. Okay. So now if I'm talking about function, as I said, function is something whenever you have written some code. Okay, whenever you have written some code. Okay, so there are a lot of section in this code. Now this is the one part of the code. Okay, and you have written every code in a single file. Suppose you have written the code in a single file. Okay, and now you can see that this is the first code part, this is the second code part, and this is the third code part, this is the fourth code part. Now suppose when I'm running this code, okay, this is the complete code, and suppose this is, you can call it as a code 1. Okay, and I have written all the code in a single page. code 3. Now suppose when I press this play button na, in that case what will happen, all the code will execute. But suppose I don't want that this code and this code to be executed. I only want that when I'm playing this run button, only this one and this one get executed. Then how will I make sure it? Then how will I do it? You will say that you will give me an answer that please comment the code. Comment the code. Will you give me this answer? Like comment the code. Basically, if you are saying me this thing na, ki like when you comment the code, but suppose assume that I want to run this code 5 times. I want to run this code 2 times. Okay, I want to run this code 2 times. Then how will I achieve it? Because if I want to run this code 5 times and 2 times, then in that case, like how will I make sure it? Then I need to copy this code 5 times. So if I give you a real life example, like just imagine that, just go to your old times. Go to your old times. Okay. Now there was a television. There was a television. Okay, there was a television. And in this television, did you remember that our those time television is something like there is a knob here, okay, which you will rotate in this way. And in that case, what will happen? The channel used to change. And this TV is actually connected to that antenna. Okay. And there was a person standing here to fix it. Okay. There was a person standing here, okay, who is actually moving the knob and checking that whether channel is coming or not. So that is the time of the Doordarshan. That was a time of Doordarshan. But imagine that, like during that time, we have the channels like Netflix, Hotstar. Just imagine that. Okay, we are just making a change in the story. During that time, suppose we have the channel Netflix, Hotstar. Okay. The third thing is like suppose the third channel is Doordarshan. Okay. The fourth channel is like you can say that Prime. Okay, we are giving the access to those people. Okay, now what will happen when this person actually rotate the knob? When this person rotate the knob, now you understand this thing ki first Netflix will come. Okay, the channel number 1 is Netflix, the channel number 2 is Hotstar, channel number 3 is Doordarshan, channel number 4 is Prime. Now when Netflix is coming, okay, and suppose he is rotating the knob, so he cannot directly go to the Prime. He cannot he will first go to when he is rotating the knob, so Netflix will change to the Hotstar. Okay, suppose he want to watch the Amazon Prime, so after that what will happen? If he again rotate the knob, so Hotstar will change to the Doordarshan. Okay, it is actually going in a linear fashion. And suppose he want to go to the Prime, so he will again rotate the knob and the Prime will come. Like everyone getting it? Like when he's rotating the knob, so from Netflix to Hotstar to Doordarshan to Prime. It is not directly going to the Netflix to Prime. So at that time, that was a problem. That was a great problem with this knob. Okay. That was a biggest problem with this knob. Why? It is like a radio, right? It is like a radio because in your radio, you have a knob and whenever you are rotating it, you cannot directly switch to any of this thing. Okay. So now let's talk about the new time. Okay. What happened? Our like plasma TVs are actually used to come. Okay. And in this TV, how we used to control this TV? We have a remote control. Okay. We have a remote control. Now remote control one, like there are buttons in this one. Now, if you want to access one, if you want to go to the Netflix, just press the one button. Okay, you don't need to go, like if you want to go to the Prime, then you just click on the 2 button. And if you want to access the Hotstar, then you just click on this button. Now, can you see that? Like if you want to watch the Hotstar, you don't need to go to the Netflix, Prime and Hotstar. You just need to press this 3 button. We don't need to follow the linear pattern. Linear pattern is not there. Linear pattern is not here. That first you need to go to the 1, then you need to go to 2, then you need to go to 3, then you need to go 4. It is not like that. You can directly access anything. Everyone getting this? Similarly, similarly, when I'm talking about functions, it is something like you have a screen and you have written some code. You have written some code. Okay. And there is a code 1, there is a code 2, and there is a code 3. And now you can, I don't want, like, I have a remote here. Okay. And in this remote, using this remote, I can call like, if I'm pressing this one button, I want this code to be executed. If I'm pressing two button, I want this code to be executed. If I want this three button, then this code will execute it. Now, if you want to, if you just tell me, if you press three button, if you press three 5 times, then what will happen? If you press three 5 times, what will happen? No, it's not about 333. You can say that the channel will open, the channel will open 5 times. This code 3 will run 5 times. Okay. When you keep on repeating this 3, so what this open, like this code 3 will keep on executing again and again, even if, till the time you are pressing this thing. It was similar to this one. It was similar to this one. When you are keep on pressing this 2 button, this prime will again and again it will open. Okay, because you are pressing this thing. So that means we want to control our code. We want to control our code, and we need a remote control. We need a remote, and using this remote, we want to control our code. If I want to execute this code 5 times, 10 times, so I will press this one button 100 times. If I want to execute this too, so it is like my code is, I'm completely controlling my code. Okay. So if I give you an example, if I take you to Amazon, okay, just observe one thing here. Okay. If I click on the, okay, suppose imagine that this code one is my cart code. This code 2 is actually my home code. Okay. And this is actually my products code, something. Okay. So here I'm using this button, I'm controlling it. Now, if I go to here, now you can see that this is actually my button. Okay. This is my card button. Okay. If I keep on clicking this, what is happening? What is happening? I'm controlling my code using this button. If I keep on clicking Amazon.com, what will happen? Amazon again and again open. Okay. So things are in my control or not? It is like I want to call this, Amazon 5 times. So it depends upon me now how many times I'm clicking on this one. Similarly, if I click on the sign in, like based on that, what is happening? That code is actually come because sign in with this button, that code is actually connected. With orders, that code is connected. With cart, that code is connected in the background. Okay. So in this screen is actually my remote control. This screen is my, is actually my remote. Okay. And if I click on any button, so in that case, it is actually triggering some code, right? So that is all about actually functions. Okay. That is all about functions. So you can say that what we can do, like if there is my code 1, so I can do one thing. I can put the function 1 in my function. I will create a function 1, and in this function 1 I will put the code 1. I will create another function. So this is I can achieve with function 2, and I can create the code 2. I can create the another function, that is function 3, and I can control this function 3 with code 3. So basically this one button is whenever you are clicking, so basically it is triggering this function. When you are clicking this 2 button, it is triggering this thing. When you are clicking this thing, it is triggering this thing. Everyone understood this or not? Okay. It is like we move, like we have traveled a lot, okay, from our 90s time to the current time, and eventually we again came back to the our present time. Okay. So now if I open this, if I click on this FT Web 17, and if I click on functions, okay, if I create it, okay, now suppose if I give you a basically if I tell you, like if I write a code here, Okay, just I'm writing a basic code. Just please understand with this thing. Now we are going to understand the syntax. Where x equal to 2. Okay. Now where y equal to 3. And now suppose you are calculating the sum. Suppose I am declaring a sum here where sum equals to, just 1 second. Okay. So I am here where sum equal to x plus y. Okay. Now here what I have done, here I have actually, here I'm calculating the sum. I have declared two variables, and in that variable, in the sum variable, I'm putting the sum equal to x plus y, console.log. So I can say that sum. Okay. So I can call this as I am actually doing the sum of two numbers. Now similarly, can I write the code for this one? Subtract. So where a equal to 10. Okay. Where b equal to 5. Okay. Where sub equal to a minus b. Okay. So console.log. And here, this is my subtraction. So I will just write it beautifully. Subtract. Okay. And here I can say that okay, this is right or not? Like understood this code or not? What I have done here, I have just created these two things, and I have subtracted. Here I have done the sum, and here I have done the subtraction. Okay. If I run it, now you will find out that here what I am doing here, it is giving me sum is 5, difference is 5. Okay. Now suppose if I just make it 6, sorry, 7. Now if I run it, now you will see that it will give me sum is 5, difference is 3. But now can you see one thing? When I'm running this thing, it is actually executing both of them. It is executing both of them. Now suppose I don't want to execute this thing. Okay. And I only want to execute this thing. Suppose, because whenever I'm running, every time, what is happening? Both code are running. Both code are running. So that is the biggest problem. But I don't want to run the sum. I only want to run the subtract. Then how will I control my code? Now you will say that, now you will see me, you are telling me that comment the code. Okay, I'm commenting this code. Now when I'm running this code, I want to run this code 5 times or 3 times, but here I'm getting the output only 1 time. Okay, so you are asking me to comment the code. Now I have commented the code, but here every time when I'm running it, I'm getting the output 1 time. But I want this sum. I want to this. So now you are asking me to copy paste this code. Okay, right? I'm copying paste the code this 3 times. Now if I copy paste this code and if I run it, now in that case, what will happen? It is giving me sum is 5, sum is 5. Okay, in this case, what is happening? Sum is 5. But this is not a good way. So for that, what we'll do, we will use something else. Okay, so now if I go to this one and if I create a problem1.js, now what I will do, I will actually, let's use the function because I want to control this code. Okay, I want to control this code. Loop basically when you are using a loop now, you are actually changing my code because you are saying that ki now use a loop here. Okay, you are making, because I only want to make the sum. Okay, you will understood it. Okay, don't worry. So now what will happen here? Here what is actually happening? Here two codes are written. Now what I want to control it. So what I'll do right now, I will use the function. Okay, so what is the function? So let's see what is the function. So I will give it the name. So this is how we used to create a function. So first we write the function name. Okay, first of all we use the write the keyword function. Okay, after writing the function, you need to give some name to the function. You need to give some name to the function. Okay, so suppose I want to solve this problem of doing the sum, and suppose I want to solve this problem of subtraction. Okay, and suppose I don't know like how to calculate the sum. Okay, so basically I'm going to take the help of two person. Okay, I am introducing 2% in my story. Okay, what they will do, they will help me to solve the problem. And what is that person? So I'm using the function, and I'm here I need to give the name. So I'm giving the name as Amma Jan. Okay, Amma Jan will help me to solve the sum, to calculate the sum. Okay, and this is the body of the function. And after that, whenever you are writing this Amma Jan, after that what you will do, you need to put these brackets. You will understood this why I'm putting these brackets. But this is the syntax of the, okay, I can write Ammi Jan. Okay, right. So basically what you will do, here you can see that here I've created a one function. This is the body of the function, and this is the syntax which you need to remember. पहले इसको याद करो सब. Okay, what is it? Ammi Jan, instead of this Ammi Jan, you can put anything. Okay, it doesn't matter. Instead of this thing, you can put like any name. It doesn't matter. X, Y, Z, Y, N, M, N, O, like anything. It doesn't matter. Here I am using Ammi Jan because I love Ammi Jan, and she will help me to solve my. She will help me to solve this problem. Okay. Now in this Ammi Jan, what will happen? Like I will copy this code and I will put in this body. Here I'm putting in the code in this body. Okay. So basically, what is the syntax of writing a function? Write the function keyword. After that, give any name, and after that, put these brackets. Okay. And after that, this is the body of this one. Okay, body of this one. This you have seen in the for loop and if loop, like in the if conditions. Okay, the same thing. So inside this body, put your code, whatever you want to execute. So here I'm putting my code. Okay, here I put my code. Now Ammi Jan will take care of my code. Okay, so now in this case, now you can see this thing. Ki what I have done here, I have written the Ammi Jan, and inside this Ammi Jan I put the code. Now let's see if I run this code. Now let's see what will happen if I run this. Okay, node problem1.js. Now if I run this thing, now what is happening? You can see that no output is coming here. When I'm running this, no output is coming this. Okay. So now you need to understand one thing, as I told you in the previous one, ki dekho, whenever your code will, when your code, this code will run, only when you will press this button, na? Only when you press this button one, तभी तो code call होगा. Then only your code will run. Okay. So the point here is here actually I'm just directly running the code. But if you want to run this code, so basically you need to call the Ammi Jan. Okay, you need to, आपको जोर से चिल्लाना होगा Ammi Jan, and then Ammi Jan will give you the reply. You just need to shout out loud, okay, that Ammi Jan, give me the answer, and Ammi Jan will give you the answer. Okay, so in that case, what you need to do, you need to write like how we can call the function, how we can I'm talking about that remote control. So basically you need to write the name of the function. So basically if you want to call a function, in that case you need to write the name of the function. Okay, just directly write the exact name of the function, Ammi Jan, and after that also put the brackets and put a semicolon. Now here what you are saying that Ammi Jan, tell me what is the sum. So now Ammi Jan will tell you. Now if I run it, now you will see this thing. Beta sum is 5. Okay. Everyone is getting this. Here I am, and this is actually known as calling the function. This is known as calling the function. And this is the syntax which you need to remember. Whenever you write this thing, so in that case, what will happen? You are actually shouting to the Ammi Jan, and Ammi Jan is actually Ammi Jan will run this thing, whatever you have written. If you are not writing this thing, so Ammi Jan will not respond you anything. Okay. So now here the brackets right now it is empty. Now suppose if I write Ammi Jan again. Okay, if you are calling Ammi Jan again, now in that case what will happen? Ammi Jan will reply you 2 times. Okay, if you again copy this, and if you are calling the Okay, even if you are again running this, now in that case, what is happening? This is actually Ammijan will reply you that much number of time. Ammijan will reply you that much number of time in which how many time you are calling her. Getting it? बाकी सारी चीजें भूल जाओ. ओके, डोंट आस्क मी अदर क्वेश्चन. इफ आई पुट इन ब्रैकेट, इफ आई पुट इन लूप, सब भूल जाओ. जस्ट अभी अम्मी जान याद रखो. Just remember अम्मी जान for now. Okay, because when new things will come, eventually we will discuss all of them. I told you ना, don't ask about loop, don't ask about any other question. वो सब भूल जाओ. Just अभी इतना अम्मी जान समझ में आया कि नहीं आया. Only that matters. Did you understand the अम्मी जान thing or not? It just think. और बाकी the syntax रटो. Syntax देखो और रटो. Okay. Now after this, now let's create another one. Let's create another function. Okay. So for now, what I'll do, remove this अम्मी जान. Okay. Now I'll create another function. So what is the syntax of the function? Right. So here I'm writing function. Okay. And after that function, I will write Abbajan. This is my Abbajan. Okay. After that, put a bracket and start the body. Now, after this, copy this thing. Here I'm copying the subtract. Okay. So now here I will put. So basically here I will do. Here you can see that here I have called the Ammijan, Abbajan, and Abbajan is telling you. Now in this case, what I will do now, if you again run this code, in that case you will see that the code is actually not giving you any output. Why it is not giving the output? Tell me why it is not giving the output. Okay, basically we need to create the Abbajan function. We need to call the Abbajan. If you are calling the Abbajan, in that case, what will happen? Abbajan will tell you beta difference is 3. Now you can call this function in Ammijan in any order. Now you can call this function in this any order. So you can see that what I'll do, I will call it in any order. I'm just randomly writing Abbajan, Ammijan, Abbajan, Ammijan. And if I run this, now you can see that beta difference is 3, beta sum is 5, beta difference is 3, beta sum is 5. So basically the point here is which you need to understand. Okay, the point which you need to understand here is this is not possible with the loop which you are saying previously na ki comment and uncomment the code. When you were saying na ki comment and uncomment the code, it will not happen. Okay, so only this function will actually take care of this thing, and using this function, can you see that you are controlling your code? Your code is actually totally control of you. Okay, now just want to tell you something. Dekho, let's talk about something terminologies. The terminologies is that when you are writing function, okay, and when you are writing here you are writing some name, any name of the function. After that you are putting this thing. Okay, this is, you can say that you have created a function, or you can say that you have declared the function. You have created the function, and when I'm talking about, like when you are calling here from the function name, so basically this is known as calling the function. This is like a remote button. So whenever you are pressing that thing, so in that case that function will get called. Okay, so when you are here, so here what you are doing, you are calling the Ammijan and Abbajan जोर से. Okay, and whenever you call it, so basically the code will give you the output. Everyone getting it? Nothing special, but I repeated the same thing. You write the function. This is known as calling the function. When you call the function, that function will get called. and it will give you the output. Okay. Just 1 minute. Okay. So basically everyone understood this now. This is using this code, I can create the, basically I can create basically many things. Okay. Now what is your task is to, okay, what is your task? Like if I give you problem 2.js. Okay. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. I'm sharing the doc link. Okay, so here I'm going to the last one, and here I'm putting, and here I will put code. So now what you need to do, here I have written the code for the Ammi Jan and Abba Jan. Okay, here I have written the code for the Ammi Jan and Abba Jan. And now what you need to do, you also need to write the code for the, basically you also need to do the multiplication of two numbers. You also need to do the multiplication of two numbers, a into b. Okay, whatever like take any two variables. Okay, and right here you can see that here I'm doing the sum subtraction. Now you need to write for the multiplication also, and you need to write for the division also. Okay, and multiply for multiplication you can give the name as Pappujan. Okay, and for division you can give the name as Munnujan. Okay, and I'm copying this code, I'm putting in this doc. You can directly take the code from here. Okay, just go to the day 12 functions. If you don't have the link, I'll give it to you. Please bookmark this link because we are going to use it many times. Okay, and now what you need to, your task is to write the multiplication and division also. Yeah, functions are case sensitive. Yeah, you can use the same variable. Okay, it won't affect it. You can also use xy here also, it won't affect. Okay, it won't affect these things. Like whenever, if even if you create the same variable inside it now, it won't affect. Abhi leave that part, scope of the variables, okay, callback function, remove everything now, okay, from your mind. Abhi just go with me. We will go step by step. In OJ, actually, whatever code you are writing, OJ is calling that automatically. You don't need to worry about that. Okay, so yeah, you can use those replit link. Okay, nice mapa. Everyone is done. Okay, so now, no, you don't need to share the code. Now let's, what I'll do, I will write here the Pappujan. Okay, so guys, remember one thing. You can also, if I just copy, if I, even if I'm writing function, okay, in this function, if I'm writing Pappujan, and in this Pappujan, what I can do, I will write where, okay, you can also declare the same variable. Okay, you can put any other value here, okay, 40, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like you can also create the same variable here, same variable here, it won't affect. Okay, I will tell you in the last, in the end of the session, why it is this thing, why it is actually like that, why this variable, declaring the same variable here and here won't affect anything. Okay, so that will be the thing, but right now just remember one thing, if you are creating the same variable also here, it won't affect. So you are free to create this thing. So now here I will do multiply a into b, console.log multiply. Okay, now if I am saying this is the Pappujan, after that I'll just write the Munnujan. So I'm declaring the same variable. I will write division and I'll a divided by b. Okay, so I'll write division. So even if I run it, okay, right now it won't give you the answer. No, don't create the, put the semicolon here. Okay, don't, it is not the right syntax. So here I will call the Pappujan. Okay, so it should be Munnujan. So basically 200 and 0.8. Okay. So basically they are giving the reply of multiply. So you can say that multiplication is and you can put division is. Now if I run it, now you can see multiplication is this thing. Okay. So this is the thing, what is happening here. You can write the same thing. Now let's move to the next part. Let's move to the next part. Now, can you see one thing here? Now the problem here in this code, now if I come to this Ammijan, now remember one thing, what is the problem in this code? The problem in this code is every time when I'm calling the Ammijan, every time when I'm calling the Ammijan, in that case, what is happening? What is happening? Ammijan is actually giving me the same reply. Beta sum is 5. Okay. Even if I call it multiple times. Okay, now you can see that every time Ammijan is giving me the same reply. Why Ammijan is doing this? Why she's not giving the answer? Like if I want to ask, like Ammijan only know 2 plus 3. Ammijan don't know anything, but Ammijan is actually intelligent. Why she is actually behaving like that? Why she is every time she's giving me 2 plus 3, 2 plus 3, 2 plus 3? So you can say that like the question is the this is code is not generic. Yeah, you can say that the code is not generic because every time Ammijan is giving me the same reply. But why? Okay, so we should change. We now need to change the code. Okay, we need to make some improvement so that Ammijan will give me the answer of different thing. So now let's come to the next concept. That concept is known as parameters. Okay, so the parameters is something. If I give you an here, so can you see the brackets here? This is the brackets. Can you see the bracket present also here? Okay, can you see this is the bracket here? Okay, so these brackets are kabutar. Okay, so what we call kabutar in English? Not peacock. Okay, pigeon. Okay, so now this is like a pigeon. Okay, so you know na, like in the old times, okay, we use pigeon to send the message because our old Bollywood movies used to tell that thing ki if you want to send something, okay, so you can send the pigeon to send your message. Okay, so you can sing that song of Kabutar Jaja. Okay, so that is the thing. So just notice here there are these two things are present here, at both of the locations. Okay, these brackets are present in this one, like both of the location. So now we can send some value using these things. Okay, we can send some value using this thing. So how? So I'll just tell you. Suppose I declare a variable here. If I say where p equals to 5, where q equals to, suppose what you can do instead of declaring a directly variable, what you can do, you can directly put a variable here. Okay, you can directly put a value here, whatever you want value you want to send. So you told your kabutar that the my first value which I'm sending is 5 and the second value which I'm sending is 8. Okay, or you can say that I want to send this 5 value. I want to send this 5 value. So now your kabutar will go to here. Okay, and now here we need someone else. Here we need another kabutar which will take that message. Okay, because when we are sending the message from here to here, we need someone here to take that message. Okay, so I will declare a variable here. I will directly say that okay, I will take w here. So w will take the value. So when you are writing here 5, so basically what will happen here, there should be someone standing at the door na. Here यहाँ पे किसी को खड़ा तो रहना पड़ेगा because only then that value will go inside this w. Everyone is getting this? So that w, basically that w is now containing 5. W is now containing 5. So for now, if I comment this code, for now, if I comment this code, yeah, you can call it as a receiver, which is receiving the value. So basically when you are typing here 5, so here I am putting W here, W at the door. Okay, and W will contain 5. And इसमें repeat करने का क्या है? बस कबूतर गया और यहाँ पे बैठ गया. So basically, एक बारी में just understand in one go ना, like whatever I'm just saying. So console.log W. Okay, so now you can see that here I am writing w. So if I run this code, if I run this code, now let's see what will happen. If I run this code, you can see that it is giving me 5. Why 5? Because 5 is actually goes to the w. Now w is containing 5. W is containing 5. And now when I'm printing it, so you can see that the answer is coming 5. Okay, so you can say that kabutar answer. Okay, kabutar answer 5. If I run it, so you can see that kabutar answer 5. Okay, everyone is getting this. No, don't ask this how. Okay, it is just happening. It is just a syntax. It is actually happening. It is provided by the JavaScript developers. So there is no secret behind it. बस कबूतर वहां चला गया. Okay, so basically this is the thing. Now just want to tell you one more thing. Like if you hear what I'm doing here, I'm sending one value. Okay, you can also send another value here. You can also send another value here. So what is the another value? Suppose I want to send another two values. Suppose I want to send 6 also. Okay, so you need to put a comma. After putting a comma, you need another. You need to put your value whatever you want to give. Okay, whatever value you want to give. Now, if you are putting a value, then you also need to put a security guard also here. So I will write w comma m. Okay, now your m will contain 6. Okay, your m will contain 6. So the first value will go into the first variable. The second value will go into the second variable. Getting it? पहला कबूतर पहले पे गया, दूसरा कबूतर दूसरे पे गया. The first pigeon will go to the first variable. The second pigeon will go to the second variable. Okay. So now let's suppose instead of this wm, instead of this wm, I'm putting another variable. The variable is x comma y. Okay. Now if I uncomment this code, okay, and if I remove this where x y where y, so now you can see that I can directly use this xy and directly the Ammi Jan can answer me. So if I run this code, problem 3, now you can see that beta sum is 11. Now if I ask Ammi Jan the another question, Ammi Jan tell me the result of 15 and 6. Ammi Jan will give me beta 1 second. If I ask Ammi Jan is saying beta first answer is 11, beta sum is 21. Now Ammi Jan is actually giving me the answer for my every question. Don't worry, if it is a string, we will see that that will be the different scenario. Abhi, just understand only this one thing. It is right now you will understand the OJ. Okay, now you will understand OJ. Why OJ? In the OJ we will find the parameters. No, you don't need to write the where and anything. This is your liberty. This is the freedom you got. Now you don't need to write where and anything here. You don't need to write the where and. Now suppose if you are asking, if you are saying that I want to send 3 values, so just put a 3 value here and now declare also the third variable here, x y z. Now you can do the x plus y plus z. Okay, x plus y plus z. Now in that case 5 6 7 will go inside this thing. Okay, now in that case what will happen? Ammi Jan will give you the answer of sum of 3 numbers basically. And now you can also call this Ammi Jan many times. Ammi Jan will give you the answer for the many questions. Okay, now in that case you can say that this is a multiple test cases. Okay, these are the multiple test cases which you used to get. Now if I submit, Mummy Jan will give me the result. No, you don't need to. It is actually according to the syntax of the JavaScript. You don't need to give the any type of any declare anywhere or something. If you are writing here, automatically declaration happens. You don't need to worry about that. Console.log, you are writing sum, no? I am writing the sum. Okay, now Ammi Jan become dynamic, right? Okay, now what is your task is to, so here I'm copying this code. Okay, now you also need, now I'm copying this thing here. Okay, now you need to make the Abbu Jan and Pappu Jan also dynamic. So you need to make the, here I'm writing, you need to make the Abbu Jan and Pappu Jan also dynamic. Abbu Jan, Abba Jan and Pappu Jan, make them as a dynamic also. Make them dynamic also. And Munnu Jan. Okay, so you can directly take it from here. Dynamic matlab not generic. Dynamic basically means generic code. Generic. Generic basically means, here you can see that na, dynamic means कि यहाँ पे whatever I'm asking to the Ammi Jan giving me that reply. Now Ammi Jan is not giving me the answer 5 5 5 5 5 every time. Ammi Jan become dynamic. Okay, so just open this one and solve this for Abba Jan, Pappu Jan, and Munnu Jan. Make them dynamic also. You remember that Abba Jan is for difference. Break 4 बजे. Okay, you will get the break at 4 o'clock. Abhi just solve this thing. Now you can say that this is a dynamic code. Arey, why you didn't bookmark it, yaar? I told you na. Like I have already sent you the Notion link how many times? Bookmark it, save it. Save this, save this, save this, save this, save this. Complete the code. Okay, complete the code for Abba Jan and Pappu Jan and Mumno Jan. If you don't know how to bookmark, then you can also save in some notepad, na? Save in notepad, save in somewhere. Save it somewhere. Huh, you need to write the code in the replit, na? You need to write the code in a replit, in your replit. So just write it. Yeah, that is also a very nice idea. Saved in Slack. Just save that link in your Slack. Okay. Yeah, also on Google. Just everyone, just please write the code, then only you will get the feeling what is going on. Remember one thing, the first value will go to the first variable, the second value will, here ordering is very important. Here ordering is very important. The third value will go to the third. It was the continuation of the old problem, na? It was a continuation of old problem which you have solved in the just previous step. I have given you that Ammujan, Pappujan like in the previous step, na? So that is the continuation of the previous one. So just update this problem which you have solved just previously, and okay, many students have done. So what I'll do, I will copy this. Copy this and I will paste here. I will paste here. Okay, I'm pasting here. So basically, Ammi, Abba, Pappu, Munnu. Everyone I actually paste here. Now, in that case, what I will do? In that case, what I will do? So now, in that case, I will pass some parameters. Okay, I'll pass some parameter. I can use the same parameter. Why? I can use the same name, XYZ, XYZ. So I'll just take the two parameters, XY. Okay, and I'll remove this thing. Okay, don't need to put XY. I'll just take A comma B. Whatever I'm using here, I can use the A comma B here. Okay, and remove these one. And remove these ones also. And now you can see that A comma B. Okay. Now here, what I will do here, I will call the basically here previously I was calling the Ammijan. So I will ask each one of them what is the answer of this question. Okay, here I will write 10 comma 20. Okay, and also 30. And Abba Jan, I will call with 4 comma 1. And Pappu Jan I will call with 10 comma 20. Munnu Jan I will call with 30 comma 10. Okay. So basically there are 4 things which I'm calling here. And if I run it, beta sum is 60, beta difference is 3, beta multiplication is 200, division is 3. Okay. Now one student is asking me this thing, ki what if problem 4.js, what if I take the Ammijan and if I paste it here, and if I just do the if I call the Ammijan with some value, if I call the Ammijan with some value 10 and 20, and I didn't give the third value. If I didn't give the third value, now let's see what will happen, because there were 3 variables which I need. So if I write it, then it will give me nan. Okay, why nan? Because if I just print it, if I just print console.log z, if I just print x, y, and z, what is the value of x, y, and z? So now you will see that undefined. So even if you are performing any operation, because here I'm doing the operation of these things, so it will give me a result of nan, because it's a not a number, not a number. Okay, not a number basically means you are doing some wrong operations. Okay, I cannot add undefined with this one. So that's why it is giving me undefined. It is giving me nan. Okay. So basically you are not you haven't given z, so it will automatically it will become undefined because you didn't send the value. You are saying what if Ammijan -10 -20 30 try करो अपने compiler में. You are asking this thing na, Ammijan is -10 -20 30, just try on your compiler and see what is the output is coming. Okay, so that was the thing. So basically here what is the thing, that's why you can do one thing. Now remember one thing, ki you can do also one more thing, ki even if you want, like if you are saying that ki instead of this 10 20 30 I want to put in a variable, so you are putting in a variable, like you are putting in a variable a 10, b 20, c 30. Okay, if you are putting in a variable, so in that case what you can do, you can also directly send the a value, a b value, and c value. So automatically a value will go to the x, b value will go to the y, c value. So it is actually indirect way. Okay, what is the direct way? Direct way of sending the value is this, without variables. Okay, got it or not? You can also call in this way. If I say where a equal to 10, b equal to 20, c equal to 30. So you can also call Ambijan with this. A, B, C. Okay, so I'm commenting this part. You can also call in this way. Now problem 5.js. So guys, before that, let's have a break. Okay. We will see this thing after 5 minutes and then we will continue. Okay. Okay. So till this time we have learned about like how we can basically pass the parameters. Okay. These are known as parameters. Okay. Remember one thing. These are known as parameters. These are known as parameters. Parameters. So basically parameters basically means you can use it now directly use ABC in your division also. The same thing which you need to do. The same thing you need to do, but basically there you cannot do ABC like do division in that one na ABC, because in for division you need two variables. So logically you also need to understand like how many parameters I need to pass. Okay, it's not a mandatory thing that you need to pass 3 or 4. It depends upon the problem how many you need it at that point. Okay, remember one thing. Okay, remember one thing. Okay, now what you need to do, like we have used everything using a Abbajan, Ammijan and all those things. Okay, but now I just want from all of you that what you need to do, basically you have written this code. Okay, you have written this code. Now let's talk some serious thing. Okay, now let's talk some serious thing. So I'm doing. So this Ammijan is actually basically addition. Okay, addition operation. And now when I'm talking about Abbajan, it is actually subtraction operation. Okay. So now if I'm saying sum is this one, so it is actually subtraction. And you can say that it is calculating the difference. It is calculating the multiplication. Okay. Multiplication. And now this is you're doing the division. Now here is your calculator, which is created. Now we have created a calculator. So we cannot call in this way. So basically it is your calculator, and where there is an addition function, where there is a subtraction function, where there is a multiplication function, and where there is a division function. Okay. So is it your calculator or not? Where every function is actually doing their own operation. Okay. So now always remember one thing, whenever you create an operation, whenever you are creating any function, you can also ask me this question, why I am doing subtraction here? I can also do the subtraction directly here. I can also do the subtraction or like in this one also. Why I'm doing the subtraction also? I can also do it. Always remember one thing, whenever you're talking about addition function, addition has their own property. Okay, addition has their own function. We are putting it separately. When I'm talking about subtraction, subtraction has its own function. We are putting it separately. Multiplication has its own function. We are putting it separately. So the main purpose of having a function is that so that we can perform our task individually. Okay, we can perform our task individually because सबका अपना task है and everyone is performing their own task. So it will be good that if you put their task in their respective functions, then it will be very easy for you. So if I copy this, okay, now let's move to the next one. Problem 6.js. Okay, now if I copy this thing, Amijan. Now what I need to do, like now there is a problem in this one. Okay, now we are going to learn about new concept, and that new concept is return. That new concept is return. Okay, what is this return is all about? What is this return is all about? So basically the main purpose of return, okay, the main thing about return is Ki, like you can see that here one thing, like if I'm writing Ammijan, if I'm calling this function Ammijan, okay, let's make it 2 parameters only. So if I call it Ammijan here, now you can see that here if I send 2 values and if I run this code, now you will see this thing, node problem 6.js, that here it is giving me the beta sum is 30. Now the answer, the output is actually coming inside the it is like Ammijan is giving me the answer inside it in the function. Okay, because the answer, the console.log is actually written inside this and output is printing inside this one. So you can see the output. But now suppose that, now just assume that I want to print this value here, console.log. I want to print this answer, this sum like outside. Now, how will I do it? How will I print? Like, how can I print like if I want to do? Because I don't have any variable and the whole calculation actually goes inside this one. Even if I write sum, even if you are saying that I just write sum and if I run it, now you will see that it will give me the error. Why? Because because this sum is not, I cannot use this sum outside. Okay, this is actually sum of this function only. Okay, this sum, whatever you are writing inside it one, okay, it is only accessible to inside this one. Ammijan can only use this sum. Okay, but I cannot do this thing. Array, you are saying that just do x plus y. Okay, but मेरे को यही आंसर चाहिए, मुझे यही सम वेरिएबल की वैल्यू चाहिए. I only want this one. करने के लिए तो I can directly do this thing 10 plus 20. It will give me the answer. Try to understand this thing what I am saying. I am saying that I want this value. Okay, what is actually containing by sum. Now how will I get it? Because it is not possible now, because even if I directly write sum, you can see that it is giving me the error. Why? Because I cannot access this sum variable. Okay, it is not accessible outside. I cannot use it because this is the variable of this function. जो भी function के अंदर है ये इसके घर की बात है. Okay, we cannot use it outside, but I want this sum. So how will I use it? How can I use it? Okay, don't create your own one. Okay, you are saying that ammijan.sum. It's not like that. Don't create your own syntax. Okay, so for that I will give you a very special thing, and that special thing which is known as, okay, that special thing is known as return. Okay, we will use return. So basically when you are writing return basically means I am giving you whatever I have calculated. So what I want to return, I want to return the sum. So I will write the syntax of writing return is return space and whatever you want to return and put a semicolon. Now at this point, what will happen? The code will break. Basically the code will exit, and this, when you are writing this return sum, at this point, this return will give this sum value to this function. Okay, this return sum will give this sum value to the Ammijan. But now the problem here is how can I print it? Basically even I cannot, like even if I write sum na, you can see that it is not actually, it will again give me the error. Node problem 6.js. Even it is giving me the error. The reason is that when you are returning something, always remember, whenever you are returning something, there should be one kabutar standing here, which will hold the value. So basically I need to create the value where, and I will declare a variable result and I will put equal to. So basically when you are writing return sum, so that return sum basically means it is returning that value to the Ammijan, and that value automatically come to the result. And now I can directly write result here. Okay, if I print it now, I will get my sum. Now I don't need to write here this thing. Okay, so here I've calculated the sum. I am returning the sum, and when I return it, this program will like end. This program will exit at that time because I have returned something. So return something, and that return value will go inside this result, and I will directly print this result outside. Okay, now if I show you a dry run, okay, now if I show you a dry run, so basically when your code runs, Okay, when your code runs, so it will actually start from this line. Okay, now in this line, what is happening? In this line, you can see that Ammi Jan is written. Ammi Jan is written here, 10 comma 20. So basically 10 value will go inside this one and 20 value will go inside this one. Okay, now X is containing 10 and Y is containing 20. Okay, now after that, what will happen here? You have written sum equal to X plus Y. So 10 plus 20, it will give me the result 30. Okay, now 30, after that, what I have written? I have written return sum. What is the value of sum? Sum value is actually 30. So when I'm returning this thing, so 30 will get returned and it will come here. Okay, because this is a function and this Ammijan is actually got replaced by 30. So you can say that now your result is become 30. Now your result is become 30. Don't, yeah, why you are asking this? What is the use? Just wait now, just have patience. We will see that thing. अभी तो ये इसको समझो ना, ये समझ में आया कि नहीं आया? Just try to understand this thing, whether this thing understood or not. Don't move forward. Don't move forward. नहीं आया तो कोई बात नहीं, आ जाएगा. Okay. Just थोड़ी देर इसको घूरो. Okay. Just look into this thing for some time. Okay. Eventually it will go in your mind. अभी रटो इसको. Just see this thing. Everything in your picture in front of you. Nothing is to repeat. Okay. Nothing is there to repeat. Everything is there. I have drawn in the screen. Just see from where to where the return is actually going, and from where the 30 is actually going to where, and it is going inside this result, and we are doing console.log result. So basically we are printing it. Just look into the picture in your screen, whatever you are looking. I have drawn everything in front of you. Just look this for 1 minute. Look this figure for 1 minute. Okay. So now this is what is happening here. This is what is actually happening here. We started executing from here, but this function will not run till the time when we are not calling it. So when we come here, so basically we have declared a variable result equal to Ammijan. Why we have declared this result? Because we are returning something. If you are returning something, then some output will come. So here Ammijan is written. So when Ammijan is written, then 10, that 10 value will go to the X, that 20 value will go to the Y. Then you are doing the 10 plus 20. And then your result will become 30. When you are returning sum, so what is the value of sum? Sum value is 30. So 30 value will go to the, when you are writing return, at that point your program will end, and now 30 will go here, and Ammijan will get replaced by this will this will get invisible, and here you will get a result 30, and then your result will print it 30. Okay, so that is the point. That is what is happening here. So here my program will get exit, and now it is actually return the value, but here I should have something which will hold this value. Yeah, it is working like a break, right? It is working like a break, but it is not break. Okay, it will basically exit your program, and it will give that sum to this one, and result will come. So Okay. No, you can also write na. You can write also. सूरदास. Okay, ये भी लिख सकते हो. Don't worry. ये result is not defined. Got it? अब समझ में आया? That is not a very वो thing. You can write anything there. There will be someone who is actually standing here. Okay. No. Whatever value will come, it will go, it will come to the function also. That function will replaced. That is the syntax. Just remember this thing. So you can see that XYZ. Just print it XYZ. Okay, you can write it bucket also. Bucket. Okay. Now, basically, now what you need to do up. Okay, in this question, the question which we have solved in the earlier one. Okay, this one. I'm copying this one, and now you need to print the output of each one of them outside. Here you can see that the output is written inside. Okay, and now what you need to do for each one of them, code. Now you can see that like here everything is written: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, now you need to call the function from outside, and for one of it, I will write the answer: return sum. Okay, and now addition, I am calling it where bucket equals to, here you can see that I'm calling the addition 10 comma 20. Okay, and now here I'm calling the console.log bucket. So basically that is my sum value. So similarly you need to do for subtraction and multiplication and division. Okay, so just do it. Just do it to solve this question. Apply this return for everything, everyone. Subtraction, multiplication, and division. No, you cannot. Don't use. Yeah, you can, but don't declare the bucket. You can use the bucket again and again, but don't declare the bucket, because bucket you have declared once, like already, because you are writing in the same place. Then you don't need to declare the bucket again and again. You can just directly use it and print it. Abhi pehle just complete this, then I will tell you what is the use of it. Step by step, go step by step. Don't directly jump to the end. In your applet, just do in your applet. Yeah. Have you done? Okay, so I'm copying it. Problem 7.js. So copy this one. Okay, so this is the problem. Now in this one, what I want basically, I want to return sum. Here I also return subtraction, return sub, return multiply. Okay, return division, return division, or like everything you can do here. Return sum, sub, multiply, division. Okay, so this is how you can call it. And here I don't need to write where again, but I can write this thing. So I will write subtraction, multiplication and division. Multiplication and division. Okay. So in that case, what I will happen from 7. So 30 minus 10, 0.5. You can also give a different name to a variable. It's up to you. Okay. So since I'm a lazy, so that's why I didn't declare different variables. Okay. So now let's move to the next thing. Now you are asking me this question. Okay, what is the need of this one? Basically, what is the need of a return value? Okay. So just 1 second. Okay. Now if I tell you like what is the need of this thing, why you need to use this return thing. So if I give you first of all, let's try to understand an basic thing. Okay. Now have you seen in the factory that like maybe you know about like in the factories what used to happen? Suppose if I'm talking about a car wash. Okay. If I just take a car wash thing. Okay. So in that case, what used to happen? So this is actually you can say this is your bus. Okay. You're going for the car or going for the wash. Okay. There are multiple sections are there. This is the section 1. Okay. This is the section 2. This is the section 3. Now in this case, what will happen when the car will go to the section 1? In that case, what will happen? They will basically clean it using cloth. Clean it using cloth. Basically clean the car using cloth. Okay. In the section 2, they will wash the car using basically soap and water. Wash the car using soap and water. And basically when they go to the section 3, okay, so they will give the hot air. They will give the hot air so that to make it dry. Okay. So can you see that like when the code, like when this car is actually going from this one to this one, okay, the output of this one, this is like an input for this one and this is like an output for this one. This is actually this is like an input for this one. This is like an output for this one. And this output is actually an input for this one. This output is an input for this one. And this output is actually coming as an output for this one. And this output is actually an input for this one. And now this input is actually giving you the final output. So basically each module, so you can see that this is actually your one code one. Okay, you can send the output of this one into code two. Okay, and now this code 2 will can go, the output of this code 2 can go to the code, because this car, when it first when we want to find the result, final result, so this car will go to the first this section, then the output of this one will go to the this one. The car cannot directly go to the section 3, section 2. A car cannot directly go to the section 3. Okay, first of all the car has to go to the section 1, then section 2, and then only section 3. Everyone getting it? So basically in this case what we'll do, in this case what we will do now, just I'll tell you. Now suppose if I'm calculating a function, now let's see, suppose if I'm calculating a function addition, if I'm calculating a function addition, okay, this is my function addition, and it will calculate the sum of two. So I can do where sum equal to a plus b. I can do where a sum a plus b. Okay, and here what I am doing, here I am returning the sum, return sum. Okay, and here I am calling the addition function, with 10 comma 20, and here I am putting the value inside where x. And now after this I'll just print it. So this is the same logic which I have done. So everyone, like everyone is with me, like in this one, can you see that, like what I am doing? Okay, everyone is with me, like they understood this thing. Okay, now tell me one thing. Suppose if I calculate another function, function, okay, and the another function is the square function, square. So basically it will take one parameter, and suppose it is taking a, okay, and it is where, okay, sq equal to a into a, it will calculate the square of this one number, and it will basically it will return the square. Okay, so if I comment this code, can I write this thing is right when I write where y equal to square, and I will pass some value 30. Okay, and basically it should be sq, sorry. And if I write console.log y, it is right or not? It is right or not? So basically I have passed this 30 to this square, and this is actually calculating the square of this value, and it is returning sq. Okay. Now just tell me one thing. Now here you can see that there are two functions, the first one and the second one. This is the first one and this is the second one. Okay. Now in this case, if you can see that here I'm passing 30 instead of passing 30, if I pass x, this value which is actually coming from this one addition, then it is also fine. Then it is also fine. Because what I am doing, like here I'm passing this thing into this thing. Okay. Now I'll create another function. I'll create another function here from this one. Okay. And the function name is function print variable. This is my function. Print variable. Okay. And in this print variable, it will take one variable and it will print it. Console.log, and it will print the variable x. Okay. Now in this case, what I am doing, I will not write this console.log y directly. I will call this print variable x function, and I will pass this y, whatever the output, the final output is coming. So basically what I have done, I have passed the 1020 and it will give me the addition value. When I find the calculation, then I want to find the square. And after that, I find the square, I'm passing to the y and it will directly do the. So I have used 3 functions to calculate the one thing. So sequentially, they are solving the problem. Problem 8.js 900. Okay. So if I give you this one, so basically if I give you a problem, okay, suppose if I give you a problem, the problem is, okay, simple mathematics problem, just first solve in your copy. Given x comma y, given x equal to 20 and y equal to 30. Okay, the step one, you need to find the sum of them. Find sum of them. Find sum of x and y. Step 2, find the square of result of step 1. Whatever is result, basically result come from this one, step 1, just calculate the square of the result, basically do the square of it. Step 3, print the result. Okay, just solve this simple mathematics question on your copy. Just solve the simple mathematics question on your copy. What is the answer? I'm not asking for the code. I'm not asking for any program or anything. What you need to do, step 1, find sum of x and y. After that, find the square of result in step 1. Alok, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Abhi iska did you solve this question?
Yes, sir. कर रहा हूँ.
Okay. Just try it, Abhi. But don't mute yourself. Then I'll explain this thing.
Yes.
Basically, sum store in result.
Sir, 2500.
Okay. So basically what we have done in the step 1, x is 20 and we have calculated the result. Result is 20 plus 30, that is 50. And now in the step 2, we have calculated the square, 50 into 50, 2500. After that, we just print the result in the screen. Okay. Now here 20 and 20 and 30. Now if I pass here 20, if I pass here 30, and if I run it, 1 second, 2500. It is actually giving 20 to 30 to some addition.
Yes, sir.
Calculating the sum, returning it. Returning it, so that value is coming to the x. That result I am passing to the square of x, to this function. That value will go inside this one and it will calculate the square a into a. And it will again return the square. So square will come to the y. After that, I'm just printing it y. So this function is printing it.
Yes, sir.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So guys, this is the thing, which is what actually happened. No, don't use function inside another function. Satyam, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So did you understand this problem?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We have calculated the sum of 20 plus 30.
Yes.
Then in this result, we have what we have done. For this result,
50
we have calculated the square.
square.
And
Yes.
then we
Then
have
print the result.
Similarly, when I'm here, so I have passed the 20 to 30 into the addition function.
Okay.
It will take 20, 30 here.
Yes.
It will calculate the sum.
Yes.
It will return it.
Return
That
return
return
it.
will come to the x.
X.
X
Yes.
we are sending to the square again.
Okay.
Then we are and then it will calculate the square, and basically
Okay.
we are again passing the
Print
result y.
value y.
Got it?
ओके सर, x जो है हमने यहाँ पे यहाँ पे प्रिंट वेरिएबल में भी x लिया है ना? और स्क्वायर x जो है हमारा वेरिएबल x यहाँ पे है। मैंने एक्चुअली जो बेसिक मेरी कंफ्यूजन है वो उस चीज का है, x का और y का।
ओके ओके, देखो वैसे क्या है, basically whatever you are using in the function na, whatever variable you are using, same variable you can also use in another function, it doesn't matter.
ओके ओके
ठीक है, तो इसलिए maybe it confuses you like what is
Yes.
this, why this actually,
Yes,
because
yes,
x
yes.
यहाँ पे भी okay.
Yes.
So okay, वो that is my mistake, but it's not, you can also use the same variable. But that's why when I'm passing print, like if you want to understand now what is actually going inside it,
Yes.
so just see कि इसमें what is I'm passing from here.
Okay.
Okay, and that you will find it here कि like what is the value of y.
Okay, it is like the ऊपर वाले जो 3 पैराज हैं वो फंक्शंस हैं और नीचे के हमने रिमोट बनाए हैं।
हाँ
right?
हाँ हाँ हाँ।
तो वेरिएबल x जो है हमने एडिशन के डिनोट कर दिया, फिर एडिशन के ब्रैकेट में हम जो भी डालेंगे वो अपना एडिशन के फंक्शन में जाएगा। देन स्क्वायर के फंक्शन में हम इसके ब्रैकेट में वेरिएबल y को हमने स्क्वायर का वो रिमोट बनाया, इसके ब्रैकेट में हम जो भी डालेंगे वो स्क्वायर के फंक्शन में जाएगा।
राइट राइट
Right?
राइट।
और प्रिंट वेरिएबल में हम जो डालेंगे वो प्रिंट के फंक्शन में जाएगा।
राइट, यही।
ओके ओके ओके, नाउ आई गॉट इट सर।
ओके
थैंक यू सर।
ओके, so basically yes Poonam.
Hello, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Did you
Your voice is not coming.
सर ये रिपीट कर दीजिए एक बार।
कौन सा वाला?
सर ये रिटर्न वाला।
पहले थोड़ा मतलब थोड़ा अपना माइक फिक्स करोगी?
हाँ जी सर, वॉइस नहीं आ रही है मेरी।
अभी आ रही है, वो थोड़ी हल्की आ रही थी।
ओके
ओके ओके, सो डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस थिंग?
यस सर।
ओके, देखो first I will call the addition function क्योंकि according to the calculation you can see that I am calculating the result 20 plus 30.
ओके
ठीक है, so I can say that I will put it as a result because okay 20 30. So 20 30 when it will go in this place, so यहाँ पे it will calculate the sum. ठीक,
ओके
यहाँ पे मैं sum, I am returning the sum.
जी सर।
फिर that sum will go to the result
ओके
and that result I will send to the square. This result I am sending to the square because
सर
according to the question 50 का मुझे स्क्वायर लेना है ना,
ओके
तो इसलिए मैं जो इसका रिजल्ट आएगा एडिशन का वो मुझे इस पे भेजना होगा,
जी
तो इसलिए मैंने इसमें स्क्वायर का रिजल्ट भेजा। जब इसको भेज दिया तो बेसिकली इसने क्या किया, इसने ए में उस वैल्यू को डाला, स्क्वायर किया और मुझे रिटर्न कर दिया स्क्वायर।
ओके सर।
and that square will go to the y and that y I will call to the function print variable y. वो n पे पहुंच गया और n it actually printed it. ओके
ए में वैल्यू 20 है ना
है
सर? 20 का स्क्वायर मतलब a इंटू ए किया है तो हो जाएगी।
नहीं 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 नहीं, तुम वो देखो ना, तुम यहाँ से ये देखो कि ये रिजल्ट में क्या है, इसके अंदर क्या है,
ओके
रिजल्ट में क्या होगा, रिजल्ट को जानने के लिए इसको देखो ना, फिर यहाँ पे क्या आएगी वैल्यू।
गेटिंग
तो रिजल्ट में जब 50 आ गई, ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे रिजल्ट 50 तो जाएगा और ये 50 कहाँ जाएगा, यहाँ जाएगा। 50 यहाँ गया तो 50 इंटू 50 कितना हुआ,
ओके ओके सर ठीक है।
फिर यहाँ पे 2500 आया, फिर 2500 यहाँ पे आया। सो इसने 2500, इसने फिर बेसिकली y पे 2500, तो y से हमने इसको कॉल करा, फिर 2500, फिर 2500 इसने प्रिंट कर दिया। गेटिंग इट? ओके, Okay, thank you, Poonam. Okay, guys, देखो एक बार और देख लो. Just see the dry run of this one. Basically, what will happen? The function code will start from here, where result equal to addition 20. So when it will call, so it will go to here. 20 will go to this place. 30 will go to this place. Okay. When 20 and 30 will go to this place, it will calculate the sum. 20 plus 30, and it will calculate the sum as 50. Okay. And 50, it will return the sum. Now basically when it will return the sum 50, now that 50 will go to the result. So basically result में 50 आएगा. That result will contain 50. After that, when result will contain 50, so this result will go to this one. And what will happen? This result, basically square will go to here. And now when it will contain 50, so 50 into 50 it will calculate. And when it will contain 50, so it will return 2500. So basically when you are writing 2500, so it will return, and that 2500 will go to the y. And here you are again calculating 2500. You are sending this to print variable y. So when it will go to the 25 variable here, so 2500 will get printed here. Okay, so that is the thing which is happening here. So just see how the things are actually going in this one. Just run the code step by step, now then you will understand. So basically that is the point. Okay, now I just want to give you one question. What you need to do basically, the first step, step 1, given a variable x 10, y 70. Okay, you need to write a function basically जहाँ पे what it will do. Okay, given x equal to 20, y equal to 91. Okay, or you can say 90. Step 1. Okay, you need to write the first function. Okay, you need to write the first function. Basically, you need to write 3 functions. The first function will be the square of 2 number. Basically, square of a number. Okay, square of a number. So it will be like function square, and it will take one parameter, whatever parameter you want to give, it will be like this. Okay, the second function will be subtraction of multiplication with 10. So basically in this like in this function, you are going to multiply with 10. Function multiply 10. It will take one value, whatever value you will give, it will automatically multiply this thing. And the third function will be print variable. Print variable, that will be the same variable. It will print the value. It will take one variable and it will print the value. So basically what is your task is to give an x plus y. Okay. Step 1, find square of find square of x. Find the multiply the above result with 10. Okay, and the last thing is step 3. Print the step 2 result. Step 2 output. Print the step 2 output. So basically these are the things which you need to do. So I'm copying into the Notion doc. Okay, just take it from here and complete it. And here I'm also putting my the other code. Okay, it will help you, which you can refer, from. Just complete this code. Print a variable, you need to do the same thing which I have done in here. Okay, done. Yeah, creating a function just a way through which you can manage different things. Like you will separately, like you can distribute the thing. Na? Addition is handling separately, square is handling that separately. Okay, so now let's see the how we can solve this question. So basically here what I need to do, here I will do the square of x. Okay, so what you will do, where sq equal to x into x. So return sq. Here I will do where mul equals to x into 10, return mul, and here I will do console.log x. Okay, so basically here my where x equal to 20, it is given where x equal to 20. So where result 1 equal to square of x don't confuse this thing with this one. Now where result 2 equals to the second thing is multiply by 10. Okay, now it will be result 1. Okay, now what you need to do, result 2. Okay, now you will see this thing. Because print variable why write some console.log? Just check the previous one what I have done, console.log, and it is just a question is demanding this thing. So basically var square multiply console.log. Question is asking this thing ना कि console.log डालो, console.log लिखो वहां पर, इसलिए लिखा वहां पे. That's why. So basically, when I'm talking about p equal to 20, square of p multiply by 10, result 1, and basically here I have printed the okay. Here I have written the print result, that is 2. So if I run this, now you will get the result. What result you all are getting? 4,000. Okay, that's nice. So basically that is the point of this question. Okay, now I'll just take you to the another one. Now understand this concept. Basically what we have discussed, code blocks. Okay, we have discussed this thing कि you can execute the code block like many number of times. Okay, there will be some parameters, and how you are basically, this is your code and this is through which you used to return your code. Okay, so basically there is something which is known as input. It will go to your code and you will output something using return. Okay, this thing we have learned. So basically you can call the function in any way, either if you want to call block 1, block 3, block 2, or you will want to call first this one, block 3, 2, 1. Like in any sequence you can call any function, whatever function you are creating. And now you can ask me this question: what is the basically result? What is the difference between return and console.log? Console.log is just to print the given value, and return is something which you are giving back. Okay, you are returning that to the original one. Now let's just talk about the last thing, which is scope, global and local. What is this scope, global and local? Okay, now just try to understand one thing. This is a very important concept. I told you, you asked me this question now, why we are creating the same variable name or these things. So now understand one thing. Whenever you are creating a function, like these are your functions you have created in your program, you have written 3 functions, suppose. So these 3 functions are like a family. Okay, so you can say that this function 1 is a Parmeet family. This family is a Parmeet family. This second family is the Sukhvinder family. There are 3 families which are in like living in our this, and this third one is the Amandeep family. Amandeep family. Yeah, you can say that this family is a Jugnu Singh family. Jugnu Singh family. Okay, Jugnu Singh family. Now tell me one thing, if there is a Parmeet family and if there is a Sukhvinder family and there is a Jugnu Singh family, every family they have their own son. Okay, this is the son of Parmeet family, and the son name is Montu. Okay, the Sukhvinder family, this son is Chunno. Okay, and this basically this Jugno family son name is Tony. Okay, this Jugno family name is Tony. This Jugno Singh family name is Tony. Now I just want to ask this one thing, and this, suppose this is like an orphan child, okay, which doesn't have any parent, who don't have any parent, who used to live outside. Now tell me one thing: if Parmeet family, if this Mr. Parminder, okay, or Mr. Parmeet, if directly calls to the Chunnu, like if they can, if Parmeet wants to like use his basically his son, okay, he want to he want to tell his son that you need to do this, you need to do you need to join this college, okay, for your BTech or for your MTech or anything, for any education. So can Parmeet do to his son? Can Parmeet like can like is he allowed to make him admit to some college? Is he allowed to do that because he is his parents? So obviously yes. Okay, because the child is very small. Okay, so it's the Parmeet wants now whichever school he want to put. Okay, but now tell me, if Parmeet want to access the Chunnu, this just Chunnu, just Chunnu son, the son of Sukhwinder, can Parmeet put Chunnu in some college or some school? Is he accessible to do that? No, it's no. Okay, it's no. He cannot do that because he is the son of Sukhwinder. Only Sukhwinder can decide. Only Sukhwinder can decide that what he like where he will do. So basically, like you need to understand one thing: whenever Parmeet will call his son Montu, then he can directly call him. But when Parmeet want to access Chunnu, then he will not able to access Chunnu. But if Parmeet want that Chunnu should go to that college, so Parmeet will first talk to the Sukhwinder, like Mr. Sukhwinder. Okay, he will not directly tell Chunnu that you need to go to that school. If Parmeet wants Chunnu to, like, if Parmeet really want that ki Chunnu should go to that school, so Parmeet will talk to the Sukhwinder or not, just for the suggestion, right? He even cannot force it, but first he need to go through Sukhwinder. Similarly for the Jugnu Singh, okay, Jugnu Singh is allowed to access his child, but if Jugnu Singh try to access the child of Montu, can he's able to access it? Okay, he is not allowed. So basically, whenever I'm talking about a function, so function has there which is known as local scope. Okay, which is known as local scope. Local scope basically means whatever child you are creating inside this, whatever child, it is only accessible to that function. It is only accessible to that function. But now can you see a orphan child here? This is like outside, living outside. So now this orphan child can admit this son to any, like this child to any college or any school. Is Parmeet allowed to do that? No, he's allowed na, because the child is outside. You want like he didn't belong to any basically any family. So he didn't have any family. So Parmeet can do that. Like if he want to. Okay. So because he doesn't have any parents, he's orphan. Similarly, when Sukhwinder wants, Sukhwinder can also do some good for this child. Okay, so you can see that this is known as global scope. This is known as global scope because this variable is actually declared outside. He doesn't have any parents, or she doesn't have any parents. That's why anyone can change this variable. But when I'm talking about these functions, the function 1, function 2, function 3, okay, these variables can only be changed by this function. Okay, you cannot, but like anyone come from outside and they cannot access that variable. So okay, so if I give you an if I just take you to the replit, problem 10.js. Okay, okay, so now what I'll do, I will create a one function. This is, I'm creating one function, and that function is Parmeet family. Okay, Mr. Parmeet, you can say that Mr. Parmeet. Okay, or it would be good that if I, okay, Parmeet family. Now here I am declaring a variable. Okay, so you can say that the son name is Chunnu. Okay, or you can see that Parmeet son Chunnu. Console.log. Now if I copy it, if I paste it, and this is Mr. Parmeet, this is Mr. Jugnu Singh. Mr. Jugnu Singh. This is Sukhwinder. This is Mr. Sukhwinder, and Jugnu Singh son is Tony. Okay, you can see that Jugnu. Okay, so here you can see that Sukhwinder. Sukhwinder. Pinto. Okay, now in that case, what I will do, suppose if I am writing Mr. Parmeet, so if I'm calling Mr. Parmeet, and node problem 10.js. Okay, you can see that when I'm calling Mr. Parmeet is actually printing the Chunnu. That is right or not? So when I'm calling this Mr. Parmeet. Okay, now suppose this Mr. Parmeet is actually want to print the console.log, want to print the Jugnu son, suppose. Okay, he is trying to access the Jugnu son because he's actually belong to the directly other family. So suppose if I run it, so now you will see that it will give you error. It will say that ki Jugnu son is not defined because Jugnu son is not actually available for this Mr. Parmeet. That's why it's saying that Jugnu son is not defined. This function doesn't know about Jugnu son. Only Mr. Jugnu Singh know about it. Okay, so he cannot print it. So in that case, I need to remove it. So what I need to do if I want to like access the Jugnu son, so basically I need to call the Mr. Jugnu Singh. I need to, if Mr. Parmeet wants to access the Jugnu son, so here I can call the Mr. Jugnu Singh because I need to talk his father. Na? Mr. Parmeet need to talk to his father. Only then he can make him like he can call it. So if I run it, now you will see that Chunnu or Tony both get printed. Why? Because Mr. Parmeet, I have called the Mr. Parmeet. Mr. Parmeet, like here, Parmeet son and Chunnu will get printed. Okay, but after that, we called the Mr. Jugnu Singh. We cannot directly access the Jugnu son. Okay, now when you are calling it, so basically what is happening? Now it is calling to the Mr. Jugnu Singh, and Mr. Jugnu Singh is actually putting his like son, and they are printing. They are telling that Tony beta, Mr. Parmeet is calling you. But Mr. Parmeet cannot directly ask Tony to come. The reason is that यहाँ पे मैंने why I called Mr. Jugnu Singh because Mr. Parmeet अगर because I want to you because I just want to tell you कि if you want to print this Jugnu son, okay, you cannot directly do it. You cannot directly do the Jugnu son here because if you try directly do it, then it will give you error because how you can directly enter into different other family and you can call other son. Okay, if you run it, then you will see that it will give you the error. Okay, Jugnu son, because Jugnu son is not visible for this Mr. Parmeet. But Mr. Parmeet can call the Jugnu, basically Mr. Jugnu Singh. Okay, Mr. Parmeet need a permission of Mr. Jugnu Singh. Only then you can print the Jugnu son. अब ऐसे तो नहीं ना तुम भी किसी के घर पे घुस जाके किसी के बच्चे को उठा लोगे. पहले अंकल को बुलाओगे, अंकल से बात करोगे. You first talk to the uncle, and then you will basically tell that I need to talk to your son. Okay, so in our programming also we cannot basically there is some families are living, okay, inside functions. You cannot directly say that, okay, I just want that variable, that thing. So now understand one thing, this is actually, these all variables are known as local variables. These variables are known as local variables. Why local variables? Because it is local to this one only. This one is actually this one is actually local to this one only. Now suppose if I remove this thing, similarly if I say that Jugnu San want to print the Parmeet San, Jugnu Singh wants to access the Jugnu Singh wants to access the Parmeet San. So basically in that case I just call the Mr. Jugnu Singh. Okay, if I run it, now you will see that Parmeet, it cannot access the Parmeet San. Why? Because Parmeet San is actually belong to a different family. How can you access it? Okay, but if you call the Parmeet Singh here inside this one, then it will print it Parmeet San. Now let's talk about an orphan child. Okay, let's talk about this. This is orphan, which is actually declared outside, who doesn't have any family. Okay, and his name is Balwant Singh. Okay, so basically now you can see that like this is this orphan is actually, you can see that this Balwant Singh. Okay, now if suppose if Mr. Parmeet wants to access the orphan, suppose if I write console.log, suppose if Jugnu Singh wants to access, Jugnu Singh wants to access the console.log, if Jugnu Singh wants to access the orphan. Okay, now let's see what will happen. So here I'm calling the Jugnu Singh. Now if Jugnu Singh want to access, then you can see that Jugnu Singh can access the orphan child. Orphan child can be accessible by all. I told you this thing na, any family can access the orphan child क्योंकि वो बाहर घूम रहा है. You can take that boy to your home. You can feed him. Okay, you can give some food to him. You can also adopt him and decide that he or she will live with our family. Getting this or not? Orphan child can be accessible by all. That's why if you understand the story, then you will understand this code also. Don't say how. Okay, this is actually a global variable. Always remember one thing, whoever is actually, who doesn't have any family, this doesn't have any family, so you can call it as a, this is actually our global variable. You can say that this is our global variable. Okay, these variables are our local variable. Okay, these are only accessible to that function which they have decided. Orphan is global. Okay, this is actually also local. So basically local variable is only accessible to their family. Okay, और अनाथ को कोई भी ले सकता है, right? Okay, अनाथ को कोई भी ले सकता है. So that's why when Jugnu Singh wants to access orphan, they will able to access orphan. And global is always outside. Whatever variable you are creating outside, they are known as global variables. Even whatever variable in the previous question, whatever variable you have created in the outside, those all are the global variable. Basically this bucket is actually a global variable. हाँ, मतलब it doesn't matter ना. Orphan can be accessed by all. Even if I write console.log orphan like here Parmeet San, it doesn't matter. They can all access it. Okay. So इतना भी story मत जाओ कि इसने adopt ही कर लिया. Just understand one thing. This is an orphan variable. It can be accessed by anyone. Even if Mr. Sukhwinder wants to access it. So now you will see this if I run it. Node problem 10.js. Now you can see that Balwant Singh, both family can access it. This is an orphan child. Okay, this is known as global scope, and this is basically this is a global variable, and global scope variables can be accessible by anyone. But local scope you cannot access. Even if you are saying that outside, even if you are saying that I want to access console.log, even if you are saying that I want to access basically Sukhwinder San, if you want to access Sukhwinder San from outside also, you are not allowed to do that because that belongs to some other family. You cannot access it. Even Mr. Parmeet cannot access it. We also cannot access from outside. Only Mr. Jugnu Singh, he can only access it. Global variable in your code, you can access it anywhere. Mr. Parmeet can call Mr. Sukhwinder. Mr. Sukhwinder can call Mr. Jugnu. It doesn't matter. They can call it the function. It doesn't matter. Even if your orphan is also a number, it doesn't matter because value का कोई matter नहीं है. बस ये depend करता है where this variable is. Okay. And you don't need to identify this. Programming language is automatically identifying it. Okay. And it all depends upon the problem, na? Which problem you are solving. It all depends upon the problem, which problem you are solving. If I'm talking about if you are solving that whether a number is even or odd, obviously I will always give you a number. Always I will give you a number. So that's why. Okay. So now let's move to the next one, problem 11.js. So basically now let's start the IW assignment. Let's do the IW assignment. Okay, before IW assignment, I just want to solve one question for you, for all of you. Okay, the question is, you need to check whether a number is even or odd. Is even or odd. So basically, if I give you a number, where number, and you need to tell me whether this number is even and odd. Okay, so in that case, what I will do, I will write this thing in this way. If number modulus 2 is equal to 0, then I can say that console.log it is even. Okay. Else console.log is odd. Okay, this is the code everyone understood. Like I think everyone know already this thing. So if I execute it, this will give me the answer. This is giving me odd. But now I want to put this question in a function. Okay, because it will be very good because if I create a separate function for that. So I'll create a function in this way. Suppose I will write function and I will write check even odd. I will write check even and odd. Okay. Now in this case, what will happen if I write check even and odd? In this case, I will copy everything here. Whatever I have written here, I will copy everything. Okay. So now you will see this thing. So basically you can see this thing key, like what is happening. Basically this function will check that whether that number is even and odd. So now if I call this function, now you will see that it is saying odd. But now the problem is every time when I call this function, it will result the same. Okay. It will give me the result. It will always check for the same number. So I will remove this number. Instead of this, I will put this number here and I will pass it for the parameter. Okay. And I will copy and I can check this thing for different numbers. And now if I run it, now you can see that odd, even, odd. Everyone getting it? I'm just passing as a parameter and it is telling me whether that number is even and odd. Now this is the first way of writing the code. This is the first way of writing the code. Okay, so if I comment it, if I just comment this, if I just copy it and comment it, now I'll just show you the second way of writing the code. Yes, Nilesh Jaiswal.
हेलो सर, मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि सर आप जब ये ऑड और इवन किए सर, तो सर मैंने को ये समझ में नहीं आया कि आप चेक तो किए सर इवन और ऑड है, ठीक है, तो सर मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि सर आप फंक्शन तो लिख रहे हैं सर, अगर मैं जो भी नंबर सर नीचे लिखूं तो वो इवन और ऑड तो बता देगा ना?
हाँ, मतलब वट एवर जो तुम यहाँ से जो भी कॉल करोगे।
अच्छा,
तो मतलब द पॉइंट हेयर इज ना कि इफ यू आर नॉट यूजिंग अ फंक्शन, उसमें द थिंग इज कि यू आर यू मतलब उसमें तुम एक ही नंबर दोगे एक बारी में।
हाँ एक ही नंबर
एक बारी में 3 रिजल्ट तो नहीं मिल सकते।
ना।
तो बेसिकली इन दैट केस होगा क्या, उस केस में तुम्हें कोड कॉपी करना पड़ेगा 3-4 बार,
अच्छा।
लाइक करना पड़ेगा ना। और
हम्म।
इवन इफ यू आर राइटिंग अ लूप ऑल्सो, तो लूप के अंदर तो वैल्यू जाएगी क्या नंबर की, यहाँ पे तो आई कैन डिसाइड ना वट एवर वैल्यू आई वांट टू गिव।
ठीक, ठीक है, थैंक यू सर।
गेटिंग द पॉइंट ना।
हाँ हाँ हाँ।
अभी 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 जस्ट वेट नाउ, लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड द सेकंड, ठीक है, बिकॉज इससे अदर विल आल्सो अंडरस्टैंड। ठीक है, हेलो।
हाँ सर, हाँ सर।
हाँ, अभी आई एम राइटिंग इन द अनदर वे, सेकंड वे, ठीक है। अभी जस्ट यहाँ पे देखो, सो मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, लाइक आई एम जस्ट सॉल्विंग दिस क्वेश्चन इन अनदर वे। So,
ओके सर।
so basically in this one, what I will do, here you can see that console.log even, console.log even odd.
हम्म।
Okay. So in that case, what I will do, I want to use return, suppose I want to use return. Okay. Suppose I want to use return. So instead of this console.log, if I say कि अगर मेरा number even है, तो in that case I will return 1. Okay. If my number is odd, in that case I will return 0. Okay. और
Okay.
इसको I will हटा, I will remove it, and here I will put a variable where x equal to this. ठीक. What I have done, instead of printing it, I am saying that अगर even है तो just return 1, तो return 1 will go inside this x. Okay. तो
Okay.
can I write here, if x equal to even, x equal to 1, then I can say that console.log
Console.log
it is even.
even.
Also, else you can say that it is odd. Now you will ask me this thing कि why I have followed this long procedure, है ना?
हाँ सर।
The reason is that क्योंकि मैं I just want to show you कि आप ऐसे रिटर्न लिख सकते हो. Okay ना? In different cases you can put the return. अब basically you can also return, if you are saying that कि instead of this one you want to write something else. तो return 1 की जगह if I write in the string even, okay, and 0 की जगह if I put odd, so automatically what will happen, this x will contain even, basically this string even.
Okay.
Okay, and now instead of comparing with 1, I will compare with this thing.
Even.
Getting it ना? And the third way of writing this thing, अगर if मैं इसको third way में लिखूं, जो best way है, okay, the best way is if you have only 2 answer, so instead of using this, just use the boolean values true and false. You can use anything, मतलब whatever you will find convenient.
Okay.
Getting it?
हाँ sir.
So basically that is why how you can solve the question using return also. Okay, so you need to remember कि जिस समय whenever we used to put return ना, उस समय code break हो जाता है उसी समय. Okay, and that thing will go inside this one, even it will not go till end. So basically उस समय ही code खत्म हो गया, and it will return this true, and that return will directly true will go to this x, and now you can play with this thing.
Okay.
Okay, so some student is asking can we write directly return, मतलब ऐसे नहीं, you need to write it like, क्योंकि कुछ calculation you need to do ना, that's why. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Like you got it na? Okay, so now here I have saved this question to repeat. Now let's see the IW question. Okay, so I just want to give you an IW. Let's solve the IW question. Now what I want to check that whether a number is prime or not. Okay, now the IW question is problem one. Problem one is check whether a number is even and odd, whether a number is basically whether it's prime or not. So I have already discussed the prime number function. So basically not prime number function, prime number code in the previous classes. Okay, so let's suppose I want to check that whether this number is prime or not. Suppose this is the number and I want to check that whether this number is prime or not. So what I will do, I will write where factors and I will declare it 0. Okay, and I will run a loop from where I equal to 1, I less than equals to number. Okay, I plus plus. And inside this, I will write that if my number, this is a prime number code. Okay, so we have already discussed this thing. If number of my mod I equal to 0, in that case, I will put factors plus plus. Okay, and when the even when the code is break, like when the code is over, if my factors are equal to 2, so can I say that console.log even, console.log prime? Else I can say that it is not prime. Everyone is with me. I'm not writing something new. It is the same prime number code which I have discussed in the previously in the class. Okay, so if you find two factors, basically if you find two factors, then you can say that it is prime. Otherwise you will say that not prime. Now let's put this thing in a function. Let's put this thing in a function. Okay, let's put this thing in a function. Okay, if you want to understand this prime number thing, then please go to the previous session. Okay, there you will understand. Otherwise you will got stuck. Because prime number has only two factors, na? Prime numbers has only two factors. So I am doing factors plus plus because I want to find that how many numbers are divisible with the in between that range. So function, and I want to check the prime, whether it is check prime or not. So inside this, I will put this is the body of the prime code. So I will copy whole code, like complete code, and I will put it inside this one blindly. Okay, so I have copied it. Now you can see that this code is always checking for this number, but I don't want that. I want I should send some number here and it will check for that. Okay, so now I will call this check prime from outside, and it is similar like even number and odd number. And here if I write send 19, now it will tell me whether the number is basically, it will tell me whether that number is prime or not. So it is actually prime. Now everyone is understand getting this. Now similarly, I can check this thing for a different numbers. Check prime for 19. Here I can check for 20. Okay, here I can check for 190. Like for every number, it can give me whether that number is prime or not. Abhi ruko, just have patience. Okay, we will move to the another question. Abhi just try to understand this thing. So basically here, what you need to understand, like whenever you are sending a number, it is what it is doing. It is actually giving you a prime or not. So this is the first way of writing the code. So I'll comment this code. Okay, this is the second way. This is the second way. Now understand one thing, what I can do, I can also, instead of returning prime, I can also return true here. And I can also return false here. So basically what I can do, I can also write where x equal to, and I can also do if x equal to, this is the second way, just want to show you the second way. So I can write console.log prime. Else console.log not prime. You can use also the first step, it doesn't matter, but just want to show you कि आप समझ जाओ, like there are also other ways of writing the code. Okay, it's just for your knowledge. So now you can see that it is showing me it is prime. Okay, it is showing me it is prime. So this is the way how I can write the code in different ways. Now let's come to the next question. The next question is saying that, okay, the next question is saying that problem 13.js. The next question is saying that you want to find prime numbers, find prime numbers from 2 to 100, from 2 to 100. Okay, don't worry, second way if it is confusing later you will understood it, but first way agar samajh mein aaya, that is enough. Okay, now if you want to find all the prime numbers using this thing, so in that case how we can solve this problem? Okay, so what I will do, I will take the above code, okay, whatever I have solved in the previous one. So I will take this code. I will copy this code and I will paste it here. Okay, and I will select everything. Now you will see this is a check prime function. Okay, what it will do, whatever number I will pass it, it will give me whether it's prime or not. So now I'll just want to show you the beauty of prime number. Now you can see that I want to find the prime number from 2 to 100. So I will write it for where outside I'm writing it for where I equal to 2, I less than equal to 100, I plus plus. Okay, and inside this loop, I will call this check prime number function, because now this check prime number function will be called for every number. So instead of this number, I will pass I. अब क्या होगा, this check prime number function will get called when 98 times, like because of this loop, and for different numbers, because in this question is saying that you need to find the prime number from 2 to 100. Now if I run it, now you can see that it is giving a prime, not prime, not prime. Like for every number, this function is actually working. And if you also want to check that which number I'm talking about, so I will write number comma. So this is the magic of functions. This is the main magic of functions. Okay, now you can, this function you can call many times. Now you don't need to repeat the code. And this is I'm controlling with different values. Okay, so can you see that, like it is saying that 2 prime, 3 prime, every number it has given me that whether those numbers. So once you have written the code, now you don't need to worry about it. Okay, the other way of writing this code is I'm just want to show you the other way also. This is the first way. Okay, just want to show you. जितने तरीके सीख सकते हो सीखो. Okay, because it actually improves like the way you think. Now if I take the another way, okay, the second way. Now second way, if I take Control C, don't worry, I will finish the session. So basically you can see this thing, function check prime, and now it will do, basically it will give me the like whether that number is prime or not. Now in this case, I will run a loop again. This is the second way of writing. So in the second way, what I need to do, I will write here. Okay. And this is the for loop, and inside this for loop, I will cut paste this thing. Now you will see this thing, ki here what is happening, it is calling for every I. Okay, every I, and whatever output will come from the above, it will check that whether this is prime or not. Now basically this is the previous way, and the previous one, the second way of writing the code. Okay, the second one of writing the code is if from the above, if you are returning true, that means that number is actually prime. So here it will print it. So if I show you, it will give you the result problem 13. So now you can see that it is giving me the same result. Okay, this is from the previous code. Okay, I have made this format. I have created this format. Now, if I move to the next question, the next question is problem 14. Now in this question, I only basically the real question is this in this one is ki we only need to find that which number are primes. Okay, not primes. I'm not interested in not primes because the question is not talking about not primes. So if I run it, now you will see that it is only talking me about primes. So these all are my prime numbers. So don't go to the else if you want. We don't want. Okay. Now the second question is what you need to do. You need to find the non-primes. You need to find the non-primes from 2 to 100. You need to find the non-primes from 2 to 100 कि जो prime नहीं है. Okay. Okay, so those questions which are not prime, so I'm copying this question again. Okay, so in that case, if you want to find that those numbers which are not primes, so you don't need to do anything. Okay, everything is remain the same. What you need to do, just need to write x equal to false. If x equal to false, then you can say that it is actually not prime. Why? Because you can see that if factor is equal to 2, then return true. If false, so in that false, you can directly control it from here. So it can only give you all the not primes which are not prime. So basically using the same function, you can see that I'm playing it with different ways. I'm playing it with different ways. Now let's move to the next question. कोई बात नहीं, like the video will get it is actually in recorded one later when you will find time. Okay, just see the last question, last like 2-3 IW question, you will get it. Okay, now what you need to do, you need to check if a character is a small case or not. Is small case or not. So now in the previous session, we have already discussed that how can you find basically function. How can you find that basically whether a character. So I told you this thing, I will give you a character. So I'm not writing any function first. So I will write a. And now here I will declare the lower. Okay. And I will write A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. Okay, now you can see this thing. Now for where I is equal to 0, I less than basically lower dot length, I plus plus. So I can say that like here in this one, I can say that key if my character is equal to lower of I, this is from the yesterday session. If my character is equal to lower of I, then in that case, what I can do, I can just return the true, just return true. Or you can say that console.log, it is basically, it is small case. It is in small case. Okay, this is the way. Basically, I'm taking the character and I'm checking whether this character is present in this one or not. If it is found, then you can say that it is small. So now instead of this, let's put in a function. So I'll write check small case. So this is the function name which I'm using. Okay, so I'll copy every code here inside this one. Just 1 second, 1 second. So basically I'll put the code here. Okay. And now just select the code. If you want to slide it in the forward direction, please press the tab. When you press tab, so basically it will do automatically. Now remember one thing here, you can see this thing char a. If you find the character in this one, in that case, what will happen if character is equal to, then you can say it in small case. So here I will directly pass the check small case function from here. and I will pass a. Instead of using this thing, I will use it as a parameter. So I am just doing the little bit setting and it will create my function. Now it will tell me whether this character is a small case or not. So it is in small case. Okay. But now the thing is I don't want in this thing. So I want to basically make it, I want to use the return thing. So I will write return true. Okay, return true basically means if you are able to find out that whether that character is present in this one, or directly return true. Otherwise, if you unable to find the character in this one, so outside you can write return false. Okay, so now just think about it, why I didn't write in this way. Okay, just think about this thing, why I didn't write in this way. This is your homework, why I didn't write in this way. Okay, so this thing which you need to think. So now after this, you can see that where x equal to small case. Okay, now in this case, what will happen? Basically, I will check that if x equal to true, I can say that it is console.log small case. Else console.log uppercase. So whatever value you will pass it here, suppose I'm passing a, and if you run it, it will give you uppercase. Why? Because it is actually the output is coming from outside. And you need to think why I have written false outside, why I didn't write written in the else side. And when you will basically just draw in the code, then you will understand why I didn't written there. So that is your part. Okay. And just the last question which I want to discuss. Problem 16.js. Just last question, just last one. Okay. The last question is this, ki suppose if I given you a two string Masai school. Suppose if I given you a Masai school. Now you need to convert Masai school into basically with a like underscore or anything, any character, whatever you are giving. Okay. Any character. Basically you need to replace the space with the dash. You need to replace this space with a dash. Okay. So suppose if I write a string where, suppose if I give you an input Masai school. Now what I need to do, for where I equal to 0, I less than input dot length I plus plus. Now in this case, what I will do, basically I will take a bag. This is an empty bag. Okay. Now in this case, I will keep on searching if input of I is equal to space or not. If input of I is equal to space or not. If it is equal to space, so in my bag, I will add bag equal to bag plus hyphen. Otherwise, I will kept it same. Otherwise, I will write bag equal to bag plus input of I. So here in this case, what I am doing, कि अगर मुझे space मिले, if just run the loop in this one, and if you find the space, so replace it with the hyphen, and otherwise just add the each character. Okay, in this case, your string will be formed like in this way, Masai school. And later, what you can do, basically you can print the output console.log, you can print the bag. So if I run it, now you can see that Masai school. Okay, now I want to put it in a function. So I will write function and I will write modify string. This is my function name I'm giving. And here I will provide some input and I will copy it. I will paste it. Okay. And now here I can call the function. and I need to remove this input from outside and I'd put it inside. Or you can say that I will directly pass the Masai school in this one. So in this function, I'm calling with the Masai school, automatically this will give me the result. Masai school. Okay. Suppose if I'm writing Masai school, hello everyone. So if I run it, now you can see that Masai school, hello everyone, everything. Okay. So everything is there. So that's all for today. Okay. That's all for today. And this is the thing which we have learned, and just revise it, everything. And I will put the Replit link in the I'm putting the Repliting in the also in the I will put in the Slack also. Okay. And you can use it. This is the thing. Yes, Ramesh.
सर ये कह रहा था कि सर जैसे कि रेपलिट में तो सर सॉल्व हो जाता है सर, लेकिन वो ओजे में जाते हैं तो पूरा अटक जाते हैं सर।
एक्चुअली ना यार, ओजे का द रीजन इज कि वहां पे ना द आउटपुट वो जो एक्सेप्ट करता है, ठीक है, वो एक एक स्पेस को मैच करता है। इट यूज टू मैच एवरी स्पेस। सो बेसिकली अगर वहां पे उसको कुछ भी मैचिंग नहीं मिला ना, तो वहां पे वो एरर बहुत थ्रो करेगा। तो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर कि व्हेनेवर यू आर राइटिंग द कोड ना, तो वो मेक श्योर कि वो आउटपुट एग्जाम मैच हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है।
ओके
ओके ओके गाइस, सो अभी आपकी क्लास है, सो लेट्स वी आर नॉट टेकिंग द क्विज, सो जस्ट ओके लाइक टेक सम रेस्ट बिकॉज इट इज अ वेरी लॉन्ग सेशन।